Hey guys, so you asked for a fall look. I did some research and I found a lot of trends on the runway for fall. So I'm going to give you some of them. They include fashion trends and makeup trends. So they are big hair, think like mod big hair, which is kind of like a play on the poof that a lot of people have been doing. Metallic smoky eye, so just a basic smoky eye, but then adding a little metallic either on the corners or right in the middle of the lid here. Long skirts, think of like Claire in the Breakfast Club where she had that leather long skirt with flat boots. That's totally in for the fall. Bold brows, which I can't get used to. It's just a little too much, I think, for my skin tone. Some people can totally rock it and look good. And then a nude or a bold black lip. Think like the grunge in the 90s where it was that deep burgundy color. That is totally in, and then the nude lip is staying around. So I think today what I'm going to do is definitely the metallic smoky eye. I'll do the lip both ways. I've already moisturized my face. And then I'm going to go ahead and prime it, and then add some foundation. Let's see if I can find. So I think because I'm going for the fall look and not a summer look, I'm going to use a different primer. I usually use the primer from Too Faced that is bronzed, since it is summer. But for the fall look, I'm going to use a face brightening primer. And it just illuminates the face a little bit. And it has like kind of a peachy sort of undertone to it. Definitely not as silky like the Too Faced is, but still a primer. So I'll go ahead and rub that on my face. And any primer you use, like I have a couple. The one that I'm putting on is by Benefit. Then I have one by Urban Decay. And then one by Laura Geller, the Spackle. They're all pretty good, as long as you kind of feel your face afterwards and it feels really smooth and it feels like it has, helped out like your pores and things, then you're good. I of course like the Too Faced a lot just because the consistency of them is very like silky and just so smooth that it's unlike any other. So then I'm going to go ahead and take some foundation, and I always put it kind of like on my hand, and that's just going to heat it up a little bit. I usually use two different ones just to match my color the best. Right now I'm using the Amazing Face by Too Faced, and then I'll take a stipple brush like this, and I'll just kind of mix those colors together, and it just helps with the heat of your hand, I think. And then you can either do like stipple it on, which helps it get into any of the little pores and things like that, or you can go ahead and just buff it on, and this still helps it get into every little place that you need it to cover. I like the stippling technique, but at the same time, sometimes the brush is a little rough because it's, a stippling brush, so the points are a little rough. And it just can get a little annoying. But it does give like an awesome finish to your face. And you just add more or whatever you need. And I always go under just because a lot of people, it's not just me, but right here is, usually more tan than your face. So if you blend it all the way down, then nobody's going to know if you're using a darker foundation, which a lot of people like to do. And then you definitely won't see like the line, like, hi, I'm wearing foundation line. And you can see just with this, which is a kind of like a medium coverage foundation, you already, like, I have little spots here in my face, you really can't see them, you know, that's already taken care of. I do have a pimple though right there. So what I'm going to do for that is I use the Absolutely Flawless Flexible Coverage Concealer by Too Faced, and I'll just take a tiny bit, that much, and dot that under my eyes, and I'll take a little bit, very little bit, and I will put it right there. I need my mirror, so I'll just put that right there on that. And the way that I like to blend in my concealer is just by taking it and kind of rolling it on, and then it completely helps anything you're trying to cover. It just disappears, really. Once you set that with powder, it's gone. So for under the eye, you don't want to pull too much, because that's how you get wrinkles, but you go ahead and pat it in, and you can tell already the difference between the two. It's really hard. A lot of people tend to want to pull by the eye. I do it all the time, but you really do want to pat. If you are going to do any pulling, you do it very lightly, just kind of to really get under there. But other than that, pat, roll is a good technique, and that'll take care of any dark circles that you may have. So now I want to go ahead and set this. For fall, I guess, because there is no sun out. I mean, there is, but not much. I've always kept like a more pale face, whereas in the summer I go really bronze. So I'm just going to take a powder. It can be translucent, it can have a little bit of color, but it's totally your preference. And with this, I go on, especially like where I put any of the concealer, like if you're trying to cover any pimples, I would like dab this on, because you don't want to take off the concealer that you just put on. And then after you do that, if you feel that you still need to cover any more, that's what a buildable is you just, once that's dry, you go ahead and add more if you need it to cover anything. And that's how you build your, whether it's a foundation or a concealer. Wiping off, I have a lot of foundation on my mouth. Okay, and then we can go ahead and move on to the eyes. I'm gonna do the blush. Actually, I'll do the blush now. So I'm gonna take a blush brush, and I have a NARS, it's called Deep Throat, NARS blush, and you just want to take and put some on the brush, and then just go ahead and smile to get the apples of your cheeks, and just kind of go in a downward motion on your cheeks. And you really just, with blush, especially I think for the winter, you don't want to be too crazy with it. You can just kind of go to right about here with it, and it's just going to add a little bit of color. see, adds just a little bit. You could totally do the contouring if you want to. I think I might do a little bit of contouring just because I'm so used to it. I'm doing it so much this summer. Go ahead and take some. But for the fall, you don't want to do too much. There we go. Okay, and now we'll move on to the eyes. We're going to go ahead and prime the eyes. I'm using Shadow Insurance. Now, the good thing with Shadow Insurance is it comes, I don't have it, but I'll be getting it soon, and I'll do a video for it. Shadow Insurance comes in Shadow Insurance called Candlelight, which will be really good with the metallic smoky eye for the fall, because it just gives more of like a golden undertone to any of the metallics that you do have, and then on a matte it'll just like almost bring like a candlelight underneath it. So you get like a really cool effect, and I think that'll really help with the fall you know, metallic smoky eye look that's out. Okay, so I'm gonna start with I'm gonna use some of the Too Faced matte eye palette, this one here, and I think the first color I'm gonna use is this one here, Tufted Suede. I'm gonna use that all over my lid and up to my brow bone. It's kind of just like a matte, I guess like a taupe color, maybe a little lighter than a taupe color, but it's almost like just a nude color, basically. So I'm going to take that and apply it all over my lid and up to my brows, and that's just as a base for what I'm going to add to it. Then I'm going to go ahead and start with my lid, and let's see here. I think I'm actually going to use that same, since we are going with a smoky eye. A lot of people don't realize that smoky eye is really easy to do. You know, they think it's hard, but it's really like you can start off as messy and as crazy as you want, and then just clean it up after. So a lot of the colors that I did see for the smoky eye are like reds, navies, and grays, and things like that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go dark all over, and then just add that shimmer to the middle of the lid. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out of that same palette London Fog, which is like a navy color, and Midnight, which is a gray color. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take that all the way from right here all over my lid. And when you're using darker colors, if you've already started on your foundation and things like that, you don't want to ruin the foundation, so you want to pat these colors on as opposed to like wiping it on, because you're going to get a lot of fallout under your eyes. So with these, I'm just going to pat them on all over the lid, and you can, since this is going to be a smoky eye, you can go ahead and take it a little bit like above the crease in the outer corners as well. And you can do this really as dark or as light as you want. Obviously the bigger brush you use, the lighter the application is going to be. And then the smaller, the darker it's going to be. And you see that I do pull my eye a little bit, but it is just a little bit. I'm not pulling it too much. And that's just because I want to get into every little space. And as you get older, you get creases on your eye and everything, and you're not going to get like an even coverage unless you're really doing that. So just you know, pulls them out basically. Okay, so once you've got that, let's see. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be shading a lot of this out. So if it's not identical, it's okay. Alright, so next I'm going to take this little eyeshadow brush, and it's just like a dome shaped brush, pretty simple. And I'm going to take that silver metallic that I have from Bare Essentials, and I think I'm actually going to add, this is just a little trick, if you want to make something look like a little wet on the eye, you can either wet the brush or take a little bit of the Shadow Insurance and put that on the brush and then mix that with the color. That's not only going to help it stay on until you take it off, but it's just going to give it a really cool look. So this I'm going to go ahead and take, and I'm just going to put it right on the middle, right, like on my eye. Basically on like the part that your eye would normally make, you know, like where the light hits it, basically. And I'm still patting this on just because this has a lot of color on it, so I'm going ahead and patting that on as well. And you can already see the difference that it makes, and that's the metallic eye that's going on for fall. I had a little bit of fall out there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. You shouldn't have to put more Shadow Insurance on the brush, because with that a little goes a long way. And just pick up more of that color. And take that and just put that right there on that on your lid as well. Take just a little bit more. And you can definitely extend this out as much as you want. You know, you can bring it to like the inner corner, you can bring it to the outer. It's really your preference with this. So, just like that. And of course, one always seems to have more than the other with me for whatever reason. And it probably looks identical, but I'm just crazy about that stuff. So, moving on. I do clean my brushes in between time. That's a really good tip. Just because I have about 30 different brushes, and you know, you don't always remember which one to use and things like that. And if you're putting makeup on anybody else, you want to clean them so you don't get any infections or anything like that. So now you want to take a fluffy brush, and I'm going to take out of that same Too Faced palette the color called Pebbles. It's like a light gray color, and I'm going to use that to blend this out. It's going to lighten it up a little bit, so I'm probably going to go back and add some color, but this is just going to blend out the harsh line of that dark color. You can see the difference already, just with a little bit. And when you're blending out, you want to clean your brush in between, just so you're not bringing any more of the dark color onto the opposite eye or anywhere else on that eye. And you can do the windshield washer kind of motion, or you can do little circles to blend it out. I tend to use just both all over. And I like to have a pretty dark smoky eye, so I always take this brush here. It's kind of like it looks like a pencil almost, and I'll take the dark color that I'm using, which is like the navy London Fog color, and I'll put some of that on there. And then I'll go right here in this inner corner and just add some of that. going up in the crease and a little bit like along my lash line. I just feel like it gives some depth to it. You know, it might add nothing, but I think it does. Just add that right in there, and it just seems to me like it just gives a little something to it. So I'm already noticing that like this one is a little bit higher, so I definitely want to add to that. I'm going to take, this is a little bit different from the fluff brush. It's a little more stiff than the fluffy one is, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take some of the dark color, the Midnight and the London Fog, and I'm just going to go ahead and take that right here, and just to add a little bit more color there. And you can see it goes on a little bit softer than the other brush that we were using. Take a little bit more here as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with the blending brush with that same gray, and then I'm going to mix that with the same color that we used before, the Tufted Suede, because I'm going to take this one a little bit higher. And then just clean up anywhere you see. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Tufted Suede by itself and just kind of go over a little bit more, and it's just going to blend this inner part out a little. And you don't really have to do too much because of where you started there with the dark. It's kind of covered anyway. I think I'm going to take a little bit with this brush here. I'm going to take that same shimmery silver color that we used and take that underneath here all the way to the inner corner. And I think that's just going to add a little bit more like dramatic look. Okay, and then I'm going to take the dark navy color, London Fog, put that on that same brush, and I'm going to use that on this outer corner here, under the eye. And you always want to meet the two. You want to take and go right there in the middle, because you want the eye, the top of the eye, just to blend into that. So you're going to take that just like that. Alrighty. Now for all summer long I've been using an eyeliner that is brown. It's brown black. And I think it's just because the black is a little too harsh for the summer. So for fall and winter, definitely going to change that. So I have this great pencil from Too Faced, and it's called Lava Gloss, and it's just a black pencil, but it's like really black. It's really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use that today. And what I'm going to do is just line right above my upper lash line, and then the water line inside on the bottom and on the top. I'm going to do that on one eye so you guys can see what a difference it makes. I'm doing a pretty thin line for the fall. I've seen a lot of like crazy lines where they're doing like double lines and things like that. You can definitely experiment with that. I can do some videos on that if you like, but for today I'm just gonna, you don't want to have like 50 different trends on your face. I'm just gonna do just the lining, the simple lining of it. Right now I'm going on the upper, I guess, waterline or lash line, and it just helps build your lashes to make them look, you know, fuller than they are. This really glides on really smooth, which is really good and easy to apply. My eyes are a little watery. So as you can see, what a difference a little bit of eyeliner makes. This is obviously the eye that I did the liner, and it's a really thin line across. It's nothing major, and this is the one that I haven't. And you can just tell, you know, it makes your lashes look bigger. It does a lot for it. So I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. And by the way, it's not the liner making my eyes watery. First, I have my air conditioning on. Second, I have dry eyes, so my eyes produce a lot of water, a lot of tears, and I'm always crying. So it's definitely not the eyeliner. I'm definitely pulling my eye way too much when I apply my liner, but it's just out of habit. If you can do it without pulling your eye like I do, great. If not, do like I do and just use a wrinkle cream. So there we go. That's with the lava gloss. And then with mascara, I don't think that's ever going to change. We're always going to want thicker lashes than what we have. So there are two that I really like. One is Size Queen, and the other is Lash Injection. This is the Lash Injection. Size Queen brush is bigger than this, and it works really good. But this is the one I'm going to use today. And I just do like 1.5 coats on each eye. I'm just going to clean up because I am tearing up a little bit, so I'm just going to clean up so it doesn't ruin all of my makeup. Okay, take that and just, I only do the upper lashes. I've never done my lower lashes, and I think you know, it looks nice to do the lower ones. I just don't like to. And I'll just do the one coat and then go on to the next eye and do that side, and then I'll do another coat. So I guess it really is 2 coats. And I apologize if this is a really long video, but I think it has a lot of good tips. You could totally do this in like 10 minutes without me blabbering on and on about unnecessary things. So there's the eye finished, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I use a pencil that has like wax built into it so they stay, and you always want to just start here and kind of do like small strokes to fill in where you need. And it's gonna look a little crazy, but then you're gonna go in with a brush and, you know, blend that in more so it's not gonna look like a bunch of lines. And this is going to be my bold brow look because that's as bold as it's going to get with me. And once you take this brush is when you're going to really like blend in that color, and just, you know, merge it with your hair basically. And now for the lips. You can either, I've seen on runway where it's just, this is it. You don't put anything on at all. But I want to have fun today. So I haven't worn lipstick in like forever. I think Halloween was the last time. So I don't have much. But what I do have is an eyeliner that's purple. So I'm going to go ahead and test that out. And I'm going to line my lips with that, and then I'm going to add a red lipstick that I have and blend them together, and I think that's going to give me the same look as what the runway had. So when you're lining, you just line your natural lip, unless you don't have any lips and you want to go ahead and line crazy. Fun. What's up, essay? You just want to go ahead and build onto that. Like I have weird lips, but yeah, you just build on. And then just go ahead, and if you're doing it the way that I'm doing it with a eyeliner, lip liner thing, you just go ahead and go over the lipstick with that. So there's the look. It's very dark, but it is for fall. So, you know, nobody's gonna really look at you weird since it is fall. Doing this in the summer wouldn't work as well. But that's the look that I've seen all over. It's really weird to see me in lipstick, especially lipstick this dark, because I haven't done this since I was like 10 or 11. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me through my website or through Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And that's all. I'll be putting up a poll soon to give you options on the next look. And hope you guys have a good one. See you later. Bye.